All right. I believe we are live for the fifth and unfortunately final day of the AI income workshop. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you can go ahead and drop a shadow operator in the chat, if you can hear me, if you can see me, if everything is a-okay. All right, I can see some of your comments. Let's see, let's go. W. Shadow operator, shadow operator, shadow operator. All right. Well, in that case, I think we are good to go. So let's roll into today's presentation. I'm so excited for this one. This one's so badass. All right, Tristan, just let me know once it is up. There we go. 2 thumbs up. All right, so we have finally gotten to our last session of the AI income workshop. And I would say arguably the most important one of them all, because today, what's so cool, what is so sick, is we are building a business live together. Over the past 4 days, we've covered a lot. Day 1, you saw the complete 4-step shadow operating method. Day 2, you learned how to actually reach out to creators and get your first yes. On day 3, we got into the 14-day Instagram story sequence that we use to launch a digital product to the creator's audience. And then on day 4, Jason showed up and added his perspective from decades of experience as a shadow operator with over 9 figures generated. Now, look, if for whatever reason you haven't been there the past few days and this is your first time tuning in, that's actually totally fine. This session alone is going to be insanely valuable for you, okay? Because this strategy is what I consider the best for building an online income in 2026 using AI. And you're about to see in practice how simple it is to implement it. So here is the 1-minute summary, just so we're all on the same page. First, you partner with creators who already have an audience but no product to sell them. We call these micro creators, those with 10, 50, all the way up to 100,000 followers. These are the easiest creators to make this work for, the ones with the most engaged audiences and the easiest to get a yes from. Second, use AI to analyze all of the existing content and create a digital product for them using their name, their face, their credibility, while you stay completely in the shadows, I should say. Anonymous, no pressure, and no spotlight. Finally, you launch the product to their existing audience using simple Instagram stories, which they are already posting. Once the sales come in, you keep 30% of the cut. They keep building their audience, you keep collecting checks. That, in a nutshell, my friend, is shadow operating. It's as if they are the artist and you are the producer. They get the spotlight, you get the profit. Simple as that. All right. Look, instead of having to negotiate contracts like agents do, you get a specialized AI to do 90% of the work for you. And today, I want to walk you through the entire process myself in practice. All right, we're going to build a business live together. It's so sick. Over the next hour, we're going to build a complete shadow operating partnership structure together. So, are you ready to see how simple this actually is when you have the right system in place? If you are, I want you guys to type in a ready in the chat right now. And once we get enough of those, then we shall begin. All right, there we go. Perfect. Now look, I have something special at the end of the session for those who are here live right now, okay? I'm gonna give you the chance to get something that tens of thousands of people have paid $1,000 for. Something that even if you wanted to pay for it and get it today, you still couldn't get it. And you will get that without having to spend a single extra penny when you join Monetize today. But you will only have the chance to get it if you stay until the end of today's live session. And speaking of today being special, tomorrow is January 19th. That is when Monetize doors officially close, which means today is about execution and decision, okay? After tomorrow, you will not be able to access the tools, the AI, the 100 pre-vetted creators, the complete done-for-you system, none of it. But here's something most people don't realize. These workshop sessions, we're taking them down too. All 5 episodes gone, okay? So this isn't just about whether you join Monetize or not. It's about whether you are gonna take what you've learned over the past 5 days and actually do something with it. Today is that day. All right, here's what we're doing. You're gonna see me finding high potential creators, calculating exactly how much money is sitting in their audience, developing the entire monetization game plan, then developing a product for this creator, all using AI to get the work done for me. Then we're gonna set up the delivery and payment system on the payment platform WAP, so that way the product gets delivered automatically every single time a customer buys without you having to lift a finger. And finally, you will see me creating all the assets that we need to launch the product to the creator's audience and start collecting sales using our 14-day Instagram story sequence. This is where we transform our creators' audience into money. This is the entire process that we will execute together here, okay? Now, to make this session as concise as possible, I've pre-recorded myself going through each step of this process, so that way you can see exactly how the entire process works. This way we don't have to sit, okay, while there's loading screens, all right? Of course, you know, AI is superhuman, but you know, these outputs take time because it's doing so much work. It's literally doing the work that a human would have to spend hours and hours and hours and even dozens of hours to do, and it's doing that in minutes, but I don't want you guys to have to wait in those periods. So as I said, I've trimmed those waiting periods in between. So with all that being said, by the end of today's session, we will have a business together live, or we would have built one together live. And I'm sure you guys definitely agree that once you see me doing it, you will understand that you are capable of doing it yourself too, because I'm showing you live, in person, here. All right, we're gonna build a whole business out together. So if you agree with that and you're excited and you are ready, I want you guys to drop in the chat below the hashtag Shadow Operator. So drop that in the chat if you guys are excited. We'll go through it. There we go. Shadow Operator, smooth Shadow Operator. Love it. All right, so let's get into step one. The first thing we need to do is find creators with high monetization potential. Back in episode 1, I already showed you exactly how to do that. What criteria to look out for, how to find them with the Instagram search method. The way it works is very simple. And instead of me explaining it to you again, I'd rather just show you, okay? So I'm gonna play the first Loom that I pre-recorded. I literally went through this process earlier, and I'm gonna show you the full thing end to end. So with that being said, let me just show you what the first process, or first step in this process looks like. You are gonna see me going through the entire process of finding a good creator and then calculating exactly how much money is sitting in their audience. So let's go ahead and get into the Loom. So creators engagement on Social Blade, but in order to find the engagement rate, well, we have to find a creator in the first place. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and screen share or screen record my phone here, and we'll go ahead and put it on after. Screen record button. So we are gonna go ahead and pull up Instagram, and we're just gonna look up a topic or a niche, and then we're gonna put a tip at the end. Or it could be like how to or something along those lines. So today we shall go for parenthood. Okay, so parenthood tips. Let's see, parenthood tips. And what you're going to do is you're going to look through and let's see, some of these creators, 233,000 followers. Once again, that is a macro creator. That is not a micro creator. And this is not the sort of person that we want to go and reach out to. Also, you will see, funnily enough, you'll see website, guides, and new course. All right, so this is a macro creator. So this is probably someone who is already working with a shadow operator. Someone else is probably already taking a cut of this operation. So we do not want to go ahead and reach out to them. Instead, we want to keep looking through and just try to find some reels. Let's see, 1.4 mil, 807K, 256. That looks good. All right, so click on this creator. Yes, perfect. So this is a 25,000 follower creator, and voila, and there we go. You can see the fourth line is actually a email. So what that says is this creator is not monetizing with any form of digital product or info or coaching offer. Instead, they are probably relying on some brand partnerships, sponsorships, and even better, I go click on their link and it's shopmy.us. So yeah, I think they're basically just surviving off of affiliate commissions. So this is the perfect sort of creator to go through. Let's see, very good engagement on Reels. I mean, some really pop off, some don't, but nonetheless, seems like it's good engagement nonetheless. So I'm gonna take this creator, I'm gonna put them into Social Blade, and we're gonna see what the number comes back with. All right, we are on Social Blade. We are gonna go to Instagram and here. And by the way, guys, of course, I'm gonna blur out the creator's name just for their privacy and whatnot. All right, here is the creator, and let's see. All right, so here she is, 3.34% engagement rate. Now, look, that's not out of this world incredible, but it's not bad at all. It's like right pretty much smack bang in the middle. Good engagement rate. So basically all the numbers here at this point are looking great. All right, so now that we have engagement rate, I am going to open up the calculator on my phone and just screen share. So this creator has 25,100 followers. We are going to times that by 0.034, so 3.4% engagement rate. So that's 853 fans, okay? These aren't just casual watchers. These are people who are engaging, love her stuff. And from that, of course, we can't assume that every single person from her, basically loyal fans is going to buy. So we're going to take a 40% conversion rate. So from her raving fans, 853, 40% of those are going to buy. Once again, we can't assume that every single one of her raving fans is going to buy the product, but also bear in mind, some of her non-raving fans will also buy the product, okay? So from there, we find about a 40% conversion rate from the people who are engaging. So that's 853 fans. And from that, about you're going to do times 0.4, so 40% will purchase. So that means 341 buyers. Now, you guys know that at the earlier stages, I recommend selling stuff anywhere from $100 to $300. So we're going to go smack bang in the middle and go with $200. So 341 buyers times 200 gives us $68,000. And there we go. That is the walkthrough, and that makes it as clear as humanly possible. This creator with 25,000 followers already has almost $70,000 in monetization potential from day one. And your cut of that will be anywhere from 30% all the way up to 50%. But let's keep it simple. Okay, this is your first creator. We're gonna make it so ridiculously easy and simple for them to say yes. So they keep majority of the money. We only take 30%, but 30% of almost 70,000. All right, there we go. Step one of the process. So, quick summary of what I just did. We went on Instagram and we searched for a specific topic. We scrolled through the results until I found one with not that many views. Then we clicked on the profile of the creator. And by the way, of course, guys, just a heads up, like I'm blurring the creator's name just out of like, I don't know if this creator will want like their stuff on blast, because of course, like we're scraping so much very sensitive information. We're scraping a lot of information. Like we're basically, Ghostwriter is basically like a detective of every single thing they've ever said, ever done, all that sort of stuff. So yeah, just to respect this creator's privacy and any other creator's privacy, I have gone ahead and just blurred out their information. So as I said, we clicked on the profile of the creator. We checked if they fit the follower criteria and if their engagement was above 3% on Social Blade, which you can see right here it is. Then I calculated the profit potential using that simple equation I showed you back on episode 1. And there we go. That's pretty much it for step 1. So she, in this specific case, the creator is creating great educational content. She's building trust. She's providing value, but she's not actually monetizing her audience yet, which is exactly what we're looking for. Okay, this is the easiest type of creator to get good results for. She's done 99% of the hard work building the audience. She just needs someone to help her with the final 1%, turning that audience into revenue. And that is where you come in as a shadow operator, okay? Now, before we go any further, I wanna make something very clear. Do not, okay, please, do not go and search the same topic that I went for here, please, okay? We are just using this as an example for the live sessions. But if hundreds of people from this workshop, they search the same topic, they find the same creator and flood her DMs with partnership requests, first, like there's gonna be two outcomes, okay? First, it's just gonna ruin the opportunity for everyone because she gets overwhelmed and then stops responding to anyone, okay? Second, it's just like actually just bad strategy, all right? The best creators to partner with are the ones that no one else has found yet. So instead of going after the exact same person, use this process to find your own creators. Search different topics, different niches, different keywords, find creators that only you know about, and that is truly where the real opportunity is. Make sense? All you're looking for here is a creator with 10 to 100,000 followers, engagement higher than 3% on a hobby or educational topic who's not selling their own product yet. Do you think you can do that? Drop a "I can do it" in the chat if you can see yourself doing this, and that it won't take more than 20 minutes per creator for you to find. Drop in the chat, "I can do it." If it seems like you guys can, yeah, of course you guys can do it. Love it. Now, here comes step 2, which is approach. This is where most people mess this up, okay? They find a creator and then they send a generic message like, "Hey, you wanna work together?" And then they wonder why no one responds. Here's the thing. What would you do if you got a message like that? Would you get back to this person or would you ignore? Let's be honest here. It is very likely that you would just read it and ignore. So even if you yourself would ignore this message, what makes you think that this will work for other people? It won't. So let's be rational here, okay? So how should you go about approaching these creators? Well, what if instead of asking for something, you gave them something valuable first instead? So that way, you show them that you can help them by, actually helping them. Wouldn't that be a much better strategy? Well, that's exactly what I recommend you do, okay? And that is why I developed what I call the monetization game plan. Back in episode 1, I presented you with this concept, the idea of this monetization game plan is very simple. To make the creator realize that they are sitting on a gold mine and that you are the only one with the tools to extract that gold. In practice, It's really an audit of their profile showing what content is working, what their audience actually wants to buy, how much money they're leaving on the table, specific product ideas tailored to their audience, and a complete launch strategy for this product. When you send this to a creator instead of a generic pitch, the number of yeses you get goes through the roof because you're not asking them for something. Instead, you are giving and you already did all the hard work for them. Now, the most important part of all of this, how do we create this game plan? Well, we use the monetization game plan agent inside of Ghostwriter OS. Now, I went through this entire process already to create this monetization game plan for the creator that we have chosen. And I recorded the entire process over the shoulder so that way you can see exactly how I do it. And guess what? It took me less than 5 minutes to put this together. So let me go ahead and play this Loom video going through the entire process. Up, we are going to go to Ghostwriter and we are going to go down. There are so many agents, so this might take a quick second. There we go, monetization game plan. So you're going to go to monetization game plan, click on that agent, press use. There we go, voila. Very, very simple, okay? Could not make this more easy for you. This is literally about as copy and paste as it humanly gets. I actually don't think I'm going to do anything here except for copy and paste. So first thing we are going to copy is we're going to go over to Instagram and copy this creator's Instagram handle. We are going to put it here. There we go. Press enter. And what Ghostwriter is doing, it takes a few minutes. It's basically going to go ahead and transcribe all of this creator's content and analyze it. Okay. So it's going to look for similarities. It's going to look for talking points. It is literally going to do a full deep dive audit, the sort of stuff that manually would take you hours and hours and hours to do, because in real time, it's transcribing all of the content in real time. It knows exactly what's said, how the audience responded to it. Did they respond positively? Did they respond negatively? It's going to, as I said, analyze and go, all right, when the creator talks about these pain points or these specific discussion points, the audience loves it, okay? And of course, because the audience loves it, that's because these creators are educational creators. So of course, whenever they're talking about a topic and it's getting higher engagement, that means that there's more potential buying power there. All right, so it's gone ahead and analyzed. So we're gonna press generate and there we go. The monetization game plan is going to start. So as we go through this, you're going to start to see the creator overview, the opportunity, which is the demand analysis, and you're going to start to see recurring themes and how these themes are actually monetization gold mines. You're going to see the numbers. Now, actually here, what's quite interesting is for audience value, the engagement rate is 3.1%. So that's pretty much spot on. So you can see here, the revenue potential is 61,000. So Social Blade is saying that's 3.4%. Usually we go for Social Blade numbers because I mean, that software is literally all it does. So yeah, preferably I'll go for the Social Blade numbers specifically, but I mean, 3.1 versus 3.4%, basically the same thing, very, very close to each other. So yeah, anyways, all that to say, you're going to see product suggestions, implementation, the 14-day strategy, and immediate validation. Okay, these are the test carousels. This is super, super cool. You're going to send this to the creator, and this is basically a way for the creator to validate and know that, hey, my audience wants to buy. Okay, so when you send this to the creator and they post it on their story after they get the monetization game plan, they're going to go, wow, I'm literally sitting on a gold mine. Okay, everyone is responding to my DM saying, I want to purchase, I want to buy, I want to buy. Okay, so you're going to take this, okay, you're going to copy and paste all of it, and then you can just put it onto a simple Google Doc. Okay, you can format it, make it look nice, or even better, in my humble opinion, is you can take this and move this over to a platform called Gamma. So you're going to come here and you're going to go create new AI. You're going to go paste in text, all right? And we are going to copy the monetization audit that was created. And voila. What do you want to do with this content? I want to preserve this exact text, okay? So exactly as it's been written, it's not going to tweak it in any way, shape, form, or fashion. Prompt editor, figuring your prompt. And then what it's going to go ahead and do is you can basically choose the visuals. Okay, so you can choose different styles. So let's go for finesse. I think that looks like a delicate theme. It looks like a nice theme for this creator. And then we're going to go down and we're going to press generate. And what that is going to do is this is going to basically take the monetization game plan that Ghostwriter OS created for us word for word. Like I'm sure you guys have seen, I haven't touched a single thing. It has literally been copy paste from Instagram into Ghostwriter, literally just the Instagram URL into Ghostwriter. And then from Ghostwriter, we can either send it as a Google Doc, super simple, or if we want to take it a step further, okay, it's just one tiny extra step. When we take it into Gamma, it's going to take that text and it's going to turn it into this like beautiful, beautiful, beautiful presentation. I cannot stress this enough. If you had to do this yourself, it would take you hours and hours and hours and hours. Whereas now, how long does this entire process take us? What, like from finding the creator to then validating their engagement on Social Blade to then literally posting a link in Ghostwriter, having Ghostwriter create the whole monetization game plan for us. And then now at the end of all this, having this beautiful, beautiful presentation set up for us on Gamma. The whole thing took us, what, 5 minutes, if that? I hope you guys are starting to understand like how insane this is, okay? When you have these right AI tools in your locker, when you have access to these, like it just makes this process not even 10x easier, 100 times easier. So you're gonna download this, you're gonna send this to a creator, and the responses that you guys will receive is insane. As I said, it's this beautiful marriage between being able to do outreach at scale, okay, being able to automate literally 99% of it, but also having that personalized touch. So you basically get the best of both worlds with this. It is truly, truly incredible. All right, there we go. There we go. Ladies and gentlemen, can you go ahead and drop a I can do it in the chat? I've actually been seeing a lot of you guys drop a I can do it. How insane is this? Like, this is so sick. All right, this literally, like, this would have taken you hours and hours and hours and hours to do all of this research. And to be honest, like, even not only just to do the research, but then to format it and like, I don't know, man. This stuff, like, it's so cool what we've put together here. And you think this is, you think that's crazy? Just wait. All right, just wait. We have the entire process. Click, literally copy and paste. Click the button and that's it. Like, oh man, all right. Before I get too excited, let me get back into this presentation because we have a lot more to show you. Now, put yourself on the other end, okay? Imagine you're this creator we're reaching out to. You're making a few $100s from brand sponsorships here and there, and someone shows up with this, okay? A multi-$100,000 opportunity laid out step by step. Would you ignore that message? Probably not, right? Even if you would not say yes right away, do you think you would at least be open to learning about this proposal? Most likely, right? Well, that is the power of showing up with a complete game plan. The power of showing up, okay, and showing that you can actually help them by actually helping them, okay? How much better is it to open a conversation by giving something of value instead of asking for something? And even better, how insane is it that the AI does all this work for you, okay? Now, here's what we'd normally do at this point. We would send this game plan to the creator, we'd wait for their response, and then we'd close the partnership. Now, this back and forth process usually takes a few days. And because the whole point of this episode is to show you the complete process in one session, I'm actually just gonna assume that the creator said yes, okay? So that way I can literally show you over the shoulder walkthrough the entire process of this model. So they responded, they're interested. I mean, of course they responded, of course they're interested. Have you seen this? Like, did you see what was present? I mean, I can tell you, I was looking at the comments. You guys are all like, I can do it, I can do it, I can do it. Like, this is insane. Man, we live in such cool times, all right? When you have the right specialized AI tools, like really, there's nothing that's not possible, okay? You can do it. We've just shown you. Now, moving on. They responded, they're interested, and they want to move forward. Before we can develop her product, before we can create the story sequences to launch it, before we can do anything, we need to develop her creator DNA. Now, here's how I want you to think about this, okay? Imagine you're building a house. The first thing you do is lay the foundation, right? Without a solid foundation, it doesn't matter how beautiful the walls are or how nice the roof is, the whole thing will collapse. The creator DNA is that foundation. Every piece of content we generate from this point on, the product outline, the launch sequence, the stories, all of it pulls from this DNA. So if we skip this step or we do it poorly, all of the outputs moving forward will be poor as well, okay? But when we get this right, every AI agent inside Ghostwriter OS automatically has the context it needs to create content that speaks to the deepest fears and desires of this creator's audience. That is the power of the DNA. So how do we create the DNA inside of Ghostwriter? Well, it's actually incredibly simple, okay? You go into Ghostwriter OS and you generate 3 types of DNA. First is the personality DNA. Now the personality DNA, this one captures the creator's voice, the tone, and the communication style. Next is the audience DNA. This one maps out their audience pain points and desires. And then the last one is the product DNA. This one defines the transformation that the product will deliver. Now, I'm gonna show you guys this again, all right? Literally over my shoulder walkthrough, I'm gonna show you this entire process, all right? So that way you can see it exactly step by step. So let's roll into it. Sign the creator. So first things first, congratulations on signing your first creator. So this next, everything I'm showing you from here on out, this is not part of outreach. You're not doing this at scale. This is, you're only going to be doing this once or maybe even a couple times a month, depending on how many creators you decide to bring on board. But as I said, first things first, I want to congratulate you on signing your first creator. So we're going to go to Ghostwriter and we are going to go to DNAs right here. So first thing we're going to do is open up new and we're going to first create the personality and then the audience. So there's a manual and an auto option. So why on earth would we do this manually when we can just get the AI to do this? Okay, literally just copy and paste like everything else. So auto, what are we going to do? We are going to go ahead and copy paste the Instagram URL. Boom, that's that. Once again, guys, I'm just going to have to blur out some stuff just for privacy's sake. We're going to go next up. What is your business name? That'll just be the name of this creator. All right, cool. Once again, guys, I'm gonna have to blur this. All right, so what do you do? So when you do the personality, this is basically you speaking as the creator, all right? So I am a creator that helps first-time moms. Next, text to capture your tone and writing style. Here, to be honest, there's no real need to put anything. So a lot of times I'll just put like a full stop because the ghostwriter will analyze all this anyways. All right. And then from there, that personality, you're going to go ahead and press create. This will take about 3 to 4 minutes. So first the personality gets created for us, basically from all the copy and paste stuff. Then personality, audience is up next. So once again, ghostwriter will literally just go ahead and create that automatically. Now, while this is rolling, just so you guys understand like what a DNA basically is, this is basically like, imagine in the same way a ghostwriter, like a ghostwriter needs to understand who is their client, okay? Or who are they writing for, okay? So the personality is understanding the creator, and then the audience is understanding, okay, who are you selling to? So you can see here, right here, the author biography, the brand voice, like it's insane that this is all like automated, credentials, proof, and evidence, and then banned words and phrases. So there we go. That is the personality. Now let's go ahead and create audience. So you're going to go create a new DNA once again, audience, manual, auto. Why take the manual route when you have auto? So once again, just grab the creator's link, paste it in here. Next, who is your ideal client? Easy first time mothers. Cool. Next, what makes your product or service different from the others? So in this case, to be honest, you could tell a ghostwriter, or I'll be honest, I'm pretty lazy, so I'd rather it just transcribe and scrape everything from the Instagrams. So if you want to give yourself extra work, please be my guest and feel free to write this out. Or if you're anything like me and you're a little bit lazy, I'm literally just going to put a full stop and let ghostwriter do the work for me. What transformation have you already made in a client? Once again, I can't really be bothered to fill this out myself, so I'm just going to go ahead and put in a dot, and yeah, ghostwriter can just do the work for me. Much better, much easier. And voila, there we go, creating your audience. So exact same way as we created the personality and the audience. I'm basically just I'm gonna kick my feet up. I'm gonna kick my feet up. Might have a tea or something. Give it a few minutes, and I'll do the work for me. It's nice. All right, there we go. Ideal client profile has been set up, easy and done. The persuasive premise, once again, all done for me. Testimonials, once again, all done. And keywords, once again, all done for me. So there we go. Congratulations. We have created the audience. So yeah, we're done. Let's move on to the next step. Voila. There you go. Now we have the complete foundation. All right. Amazing. Guys, once again, just go ahead and drop a I can do it in the chat. I've been looking at all your guys' chats. Drop a I can do it in the chat if if you guys are enjoying it. You guys probably think I'm a lot more of a hard worker than I am. I can be a little lazy at times. It's not lazy, it's smart. Because if you can do it automated, why do it the manual way? That's the way I think about it. All right, anyways, listen, let's get back to the training. There you go. Now we have the complete foundation, the personality DNA and the audience DNA. Now the product/service DNA, we're actually going to generate later once we have the product developed. Now, every piece of content we generate from this point on using our AI agents, basically, just so you guys understand what an AI agent is, just imagine a AI employee, and you literally have like 40 or 50 AI employees inside of Ghostwriter. All right. So congratulations. You now have like 50 people working for you, except they never sleep. They never complain. They never want to raise. So yeah, congratulations. So as I said, all of that inside of Ghostwriter, it's going to pull from these DNAs. So when we go ahead and actually create her product outline in step 3, it'll be perfectly aligned with her audience's desires. When we generate her 14-day launch sequence in step 4, it'll sound exactly like something that she could write, and it will hit the exact pain points that her audience is currently struggling with. All right, so now we have the right creator, the monetization game plan showing her the opportunity, the creator DNA, which is the foundation for everything. Step 1 and 2 are complete. Now let's move on to step number 3, develop. This is where we help the creator develop her product. Your job is just to help them structure their knowledge into a product that their audience will buy. That is what Synthesize AI does. And here is the best part. We don't recommend creating an ultra polished pre-recorded program with fancy editing and production that takes months. No. All right. There's no need to do all that work. Instead, we recommend products that are just delivered live. Literally like I'm doing right here with you guys, right? I'm delivering it live to you. The creator shows up, they teach, they deliver the content in real time, no filming, no editing, no production delays. When you do this, you can launch fast, all right? No waiting months to build a perfect product. So with all that being said, now let's go into the over-the-shoulder walkthrough where I'm gonna, as I walk you through the entire process to show you how this works in practice. Let's get into it. To the last step of this process, we're gonna press this export button. You're gonna select the personality. So personality has been selected, and then you're going to select the audience, and boom. So personality, audience, we're going to export that, and then we are going to take it over into Synthesize and make this whole thing come to life just like that. All right, so you're in Synthesize right here. You're going to press this plus button, which I'm already in Creation tab. Name of your product, we are going to call it, this is an internal document, so it really doesn't matter. This is just for your own reference. All right, so continue. Choose your product language. In this case, it's going to be English. Boom, create product. All right, so first we're going to press this button right here, discover your unique value zone. Press start. And then you can see here there's two options, non-expert digital product or expert digital product. Okay, in this case, I'm building a product around a creator's personal brand, face, and voice. Boom. Press that. Now, you can see right here, this button comes up, Shadow Operator Setup. Okay, we will guide you through setting up a digital product that leverages your creator's unique expertise, personal brand, and voice. This includes creating coaching offers, courses, and digital products that position them as the go-to authority in their niche. You're gonna press this, continue with the expert path. Now, as I said, this entire process is literally copy and paste or upload a file. Okay, so here we are gonna drop the Ghostwriter DNA that we literally just exported a minute ago, and there we go. And then here you're gonna press continue with the audit, and you can see here, starting UVZ generation. This might take a few minutes while the AI generates hundreds of ideas and selects the best 20. So we're gonna let it do its thing. As I said, this will take anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes, but if you had to do it yourself, it would take you hours and hours and hours. And to be honest, one of the big things about all this is it's not actually just the time. Like that's one factor that comes into play. The main thing is like, I'm sure you guys have had it before, that anxiety of like doing it yourself. I know even for me, you know, back in the day, whenever I was offering services, I just had anxiety of like, oh, what if I do it wrong? Well, the benefit is when you have specialized AI, it's impossible to get wrong. Okay. It's doing it all for me. I literally have the best software, the best tools in the world. So I know that if I was first starting out, I might not trust myself, but I can trust the software. And that just like makes me sleep so much easier and so much better at night knowing that. So yeah, let's take a look at what it has created. So as we're going through these, I know you might be going, oh, well, there's 20 different options. You know, that's a lot of options. How do I know what option to go for? Well, we thought about that, okay? We thought, you know what? We're going to give people options, but we're also just going to give a score. So once again, you don't need to trust yourself. You just need to trust the software. So the scores go down to 27, but why would I go for the 27 score when this one is the highest scoring? Okay, score 34, score 34. So I'll go through these. And once again, at this point, you already be working with a creator, so you can get some feedback from them. But to be honest, Synthesize knows best. Okay, this is literally the best coaching digital product creation tool in the world. This does everything for you. So 3 of them are scored 34, but I actually like this one the most. I help first-time moms cut down on nighttime wake-ups without confusing routines or waking up the whole house. So I'm going to use this UVZ, and we're going to press continue. All right, so it's going to ask what format do you want for, you know what, actually, let me make myself a little smaller. It's going to ask what format do you want for the digital product. So you have a create coaching offer, create ebook, or create video course. Now, my recommendation for your first shadow operating client is create a coaching offer, but the coaching offer is delivered live, okay? So the reason I recommend that for your first creator is because you basically just want to hit the ground running as quick as humanly possible, and you want to get money coming in as quick as humanly possible, not only for your sake, but also for the creator's sake. So what's cool is when you have a coaching offer and it's delivered live, like you can literally start making money tomorrow, and you can charge good prices. As I said, in this case, we're going to charge $200. So we're going to click here, create coaching offer, and voila. So you can see right here, add supporting references, skip, because once again, it literally has everything from Ghostwriter already. Then here, visceral transformation map, we're going to get started. All you have to do, once again, just click the buttons, okay, create transformation map, and there you go. It's going to generate the before and after state. Let me make myself a little bigger. And this is basically just going to map out your client's entire transformation journey. All right, so this shows the before, the after, all of it. You're going to press continue. That's been done. All right. So that's the before and after state. And then from there, it's going to build the entire visceral transformation map. By the way, if any of this sounds like confusing or big words or anything, like the truth is, it is. Like the God's honest truth is like, this is what me and the best marketers in the world have dedicated. I mean, this year will be literally a decade I've been doing this stuff. Like I've dedicated a decade of my life, literally 40% of the entire years I've been alive to this. And the best marketers in the world have dedicated decades and decades and decades to this. So the truth is, if any of this sounds complicated, yeah, like if you try to do it yourself, it is a little complicated. Like I'll be honest with you. But when you have the right specialized AI tools, you could basically be a dumb, lazy idiot like I've been in this entire process, where like even simple things where I could have typed in my thoughts or responses, I'm like, you know, like I actually can't be bothered. I'm just gonna let the AI do it for me. So yeah, there we go. The visceral transformation map, that has all been built out. Press continue, press the buttons, can you press the buttons? Then we move on to offer unique selling proposition. Once again, I'm just gonna press the button. It's gonna create the USP and the offer name for me because I'm lazy. I do not want to do this myself, okay? You know, a lot of people say that their business model is the laziest for 2026, but honestly, this is the laziest business model. And for me, it's one of those things like, why take pride in working 15 hours a day when like there's people with these specialized AI tools that are doing the work that you're doing in 15 hours in 30 minutes. So like, I don't know why you're giving yourself a pat on the back for working extra hard. Like the lazy people are the people that are winning. So here we're gonna go for the first one. Press continue. It is doing its thing. And then we have the mentorship execution. Press get started. Click the buttons as always. Let it do the work for me. All right, so now it is creating the structuring the action plan. And once again, there's no guessing games with all this because Ghostwriter has scrubbed. It's literally done everything, okay? So Ghostwriter and Synthesize are basically like best friends, right? They work together to make sure that, long story short, you basically get to save yourself hours and hours and hours and hours for every single one of these creators. So there we go. We have the 5-week detailed action plan. All right, cool. We're going to press continue. Then worksheets. Because once again, like you could create them yourself, or even the creator could create them themselves, but like I'd rather let the AI do it for me. So now it's creating the worksheets to basically complement the action plan that was just created right before this. So yeah, it's generating all the worksheets. Voila, boom. You can press continue. This is so sick. So it's going ahead and generating all of those worksheets. That is, how many of this is that? That is 15 different worksheets. Okay, 15 different resources that has been created by Synthesize in this case. Insane. Listen, I remember creating programs back in the days, 7 to 8 years ago. This entire process, like what you guys are seeing, like this used to take me 4 to 6 months, day and night of work. And now this can literally be done in the space of a few clicks. Next, we are going to create the program outline, or I say we, Synthesize is going to create the program outline. So as you can see right here, it is structuring your mentorship into clear, progressive modules that guide clients from foundation to mastery. All right, so you can see right here, we have the 5-week detailed action plan. Boom, done for us, easy. We've got all the worksheets done for us. We have the program outline done for us. We're going to press complete. All right, so as you can see, if the creator is ever curious, like, oh, okay, cool. Like, what do I present on module 1? Boom, view. Like, this is literally everything they need to present on module 1. And then once again, there's the worksheets for all of this stuff. All right, so you can press here. You can download all the worksheets. You can also download all the modules. All right, so voila, there we go. We have all of the modules, all the worksheets done and dusted. All right. There we go. Once again, go ahead and drop a I can do it in the chat if this is all making sense. If you're like, wow, like I cannot believe it is this simple and it is this easy. All right, let's see it. I can do it. There we go. Love it. All right, there you go. You now have the creator's product outline fully developed. Now that that's ready, we just need to set up the delivery system. This way, when someone buys the product, they get it delivered to them automatically. And that is where WAP comes in. So let me show you how. Now, before we get into that, I don't know if you guys remember earlier on day 1 and day 2, I talked about how I made a very large investment to become a co-owner of WAP last year. Now, over the last 6 months, our users have earned over $1 billion in payouts from their online business. Okay, the platform is specifically built for people selling digital products, courses, memberships, coaching programs, communities. Everything runs on WAP. And for shadow operators, this is the perfect infrastructure because it handles everything, the payments, the delivery of the product once people buy it, and everything in between. Everything is completely automated. So that way you can just set this up once and you can make as much money as you want from this creator's digital product without having to touch it again. With this setup, you don't need multiple tools. You don't need complicated tech stacks. Everything lives in one place in a simple interface. So here is how we set this up for the creator. And once again, I'm going to do an entire walkthrough over the shoulder. So with that being said, let's get into it. Time to get paid. So we are going to go to WAP. You're going to come right here, create a business, and you can see which mall best describes your offer. Coaching and courses. What industry best describes your offer? In this case, health and wellness. What country are you in? This creator is in the US. Name of your business. In this case, we are just going to put the creator's name. Boom. Enter your email. Continue. I am going to get my 2FA right now. All right, what is your name? Voila. Next. Pick your username. Cool. I think this one auto-generated. No, let's go for AI Income Workshop Legends. When is my birthday? For any of you guys who are curious, I am a Capricorn. 3rd of January 2000. Let's see, what profile picture do I like? Let's go for this money one because I'm a shadow operator, so I'm rolling in the cash. And voila, it has created your business. Confetti. Boom, exciting. Now, you are going to go ahead and create a product. Now, product name, very simple. We're going to go over to synthesize. Boom, we're going to open up mentorship execution. We'll call it Nightcom 5-week mentorship. Boom, easy. Headline, we'll take this. Reduce nighttime wake up for first-time moms. Boom, category, coaching and courses, health and wellness. Paid access, it is going to be a one-time fee. One-time fee is $200 US dollars. There we go. And then boom, press next. So here, basically, you just choose, okay, what are we doing in this case? In this case, you can add the live stream app. By the way, you can add apps later down the line. Like you don't need to stress out. Like you could even launch with 0 apps inside. But yeah, live streaming, because once again, you're live streaming the coaching offers. So boom, press next. And there you go. Congratulations. Nightcom 5-week mentorship. Save the product. Once again, you guys need to remember this doesn't really matter too much because the creator is literally selling this to their audience directly. So like, even if it's so ugly, even if you have no profile picture or cover photo, which I haven't done any of that, like I haven't optimized this page at all. I haven't tried to make it all pretty or put lipstick on it because at the end of the day, the creator is promoting it on their story, okay, through the 14-day story sequence, which I'm going to show you how to do in just a second. So like, no matter how ugly titled or no cover photo or anything, like it just doesn't matter, okay? And there we go. Congratulations. Your product was created. Copy link and voila, we can move on to the next step. All right, voila, there we go. Once again, go ahead and drop in the chat. I can do it. If you understand how easy it is to set everything up and how crazy it is that you can literally sell 1 or 1,000 units with the same amount of work inside of your WAP. I can do it. I can do it. I can do it. Boom. There we go. Well, I have some exciting news. All right. You see, there's something else inside WAP built specifically for shadow operators that I want to show you. And here is where it gets like next level 10x ultra powerful. All right. It is called the split revenue feature. Now, here's the problem that it solves. Normally, when you partner with someone, all the money hits one person's account. Then you have to manually transfer the cut or they transfer you, yada, yada, whatever. Whereas with the WAP's split revenue feature, every single sale automatically splits. For example, in this case, 30% to you, 70% to the creator, or whatever split that you guys agree upon. And this happens instantly, automatically, no manual transfers needed. The platform handles it all. Now, once again, let me show you how this works in practice. Product right here. Let me minimize myself again. Now what you are going to do, because obviously creator gets their share, you get your share. This is so easily done on WAP. I pushed so hard for this feature to get pushed out. Of course, as a company, we're working on so many initiatives at any given time, but I know just how important this is for shadow operators, and this solves such a massive problem for shadow operators, or what used to be a problem, but now is so easy, which is basically you get your money, they get their money. Easy as that. There's no headaches. There's no drama. There's nothing. Like, it could not be easier. All right. So you're going to come down here, go affiliates, revenue share. What a beautiful tab this is. And there you go. We are going to press here, share your revenue. We are going to input the creator's user. Okay. So your creator will create a WAP account. We'll put in their email right as such, and then you can see right here the share. In this case, let's say you guys went for a 70-30 split, so they're going to get 70%, you're going to get 30%, and then you can see right here you're going to select the product, and that's it. All right, so you'll put in their email here, and that's it. 70% gets sent to them, 30% gets sent to you. You can see the product right there. Could not be easier. All you do is press the button for invite, and there we go. You automatically get your money sent to you. No headaches, no stress, no drama. That's pretty much been the theme of this entire thing. If you're lazy and you don't even want to ask for your money that you're owed, congratulations. You don't need to do it. It gets sent directly to your WAP. No headaches, no stress. Let's move on to the next step. All right. Well, with that, everything is now ready to go live. The only thing left is the launch itself. And that brings us to step 4, launch. This is where we execute the 14-day Instagram story sequence and turn all of this preparation into actual sales. Now, inside of Monetize, our main product that closes tomorrow, we teach 7 different monetization strategies, okay? 17 proven ways to turn a creator's audience into revenue. And for most shadow operating partnerships, we are gonna start off with the 14-day Instagram story sequence because it's the simplest, most reliable strategy for beginners. And for these creators that we're reaching out to, they're already posting Instagram stories every day regardless, okay? So their audience is already trained on watching stories and they are already used to this creator posting. It's the perfect combination. Now, before I show you how I create this sequence in practice, let me briefly explain what this sequence is all about for people who didn't watch episode 3. The 14-day Instagram story sequence is a series of Instagram stories posted over 14 consecutive days. Each one has a specific job, a specific psychological trigger to activate. And when you execute all 14 days in the correct order, you systematically move people from, you know what, I like this person's content too, I need to buy this product. It is a proven psychological sequence that turns followers into customers. And here is how it breaks down. Phase 1 is the warm-up. This is day 1 to 3. And this is where we get the creator to create curiosity, gather intelligence. Phase 2 is value delivery. That's day 4 to 9. And we get the creator to deliver massive value, build authority and trust. We're going to activate reciprocity, social proof, and story triggers. That brings us on to phase 3, open cart. This is day 10 to 14. This is where the creator officially releases the product and you start making money. So that is the framework. Now, you don't need to know any of this, okay? You don't need to understand how all these psychological triggers work because they're all pre-built into the formula. The specialized AI handles all of that for you. All you have to do, click a few buttons and get the AI to generate all of it, okay? Now, normally creating 14 days of content with all the psychological triggers in the right order would take days of manual work. You would need to understand copywriting, sales psychology, story structure, and most people would mess this up completely. But with Ghostwriter OS, you just select the day that you want to generate the sequence for, and then you hit generate. This way, there's zero chance of getting it wrong. So let me show you how we generate that content for the creator inside Ghostwriter OS. And it is time to get some sales. So here's what we're going to do. We are going to open up Synthesize. As you can see right here, everything that we've created, you're going to select this tab right here, Coaching Offer Charter. And you're going to generate the product charter. It's going to go ahead and generate that right now. This is basically a comprehensive blueprint that details your product's purpose, goals, audience structure, resources, pricing, as well as unique features. All right, so this is basically just a general charter, a general overview. So you can see right here, you can either export it as a PDF or you can press this copy button. As I said, this whole thing is pretty much copy paste. You're going to open up a Google Doc and you're going to paste it in there. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to go to Ghostwriter. You're going to press new product or service. You're going to press auto because we are lazy and we don't ever want to do anything manual. And then here you are going to take the Google Doc link. Right here, it's very important. Press share and then anyone with the link. Okay, very, very important. Just make sure it's not restricted. It's anyone with the link can view. Cool. Now that is that, we can copy the link. You're going to paste this here. Boom. Next. All right. Boom. That is done. What do you sell? Now, once again, I don't know about you, but I'm a little lazy, so I don't really want to type it out. So I'm just going to come back here on the program charter. A unique selling proposition. I'm going to take this. I'm going to copy it. I'm going to paste it. Bosh. What does your product slash service solve? Once again, I'm a little lazy, so I don't really want to type this out myself. I'm going to go back to program charter. We're going to go program objective. I'm going to copy that. I'm going to paste it right here. Boom. Create. And there we go. It is creating your product or service. So basically what Ghostwriter is doing here is it's analyzing so that way it knows exactly what is being sold. All right. It knows every intimate detail about what the product actually is. Okay. And that just means when it's going ahead and it's marketing it and it's creating these 14-day story sequences, like it has the context. Just to take a sort of zoom out slightly, the reason we have these DNAs, the personality, the audience, procs slash service, I don't technically need to tell you this because I said this is literally like just lazy, click the buttons, do this, do that. Like that has been our entire objective with everything inside Monetize, is just remove any guesswork humanly possible. But if you did want to know why we're doing what we're doing, or what's working in the background between the personality, the audience, and the product slash service, which is all done literally like you guys have seen it, over the shoulder walkthrough, copy paste every single thing. The reason we are doing this is it's basically just giving Ghostwriter context. Okay, so that's why Ghostwriter performs at the level it does, where it's literally a world-class copywriter, it's a world-class marketer, because it has all the context. All right, so here we have the problem, the solution, the offer, and some keywords. So there we go. That DNA is all done and dusted. So now we can go back to the agents tool. So basically what we did there was like we gave it all the context necessary. So let me make myself a little smaller. These are the recommended. Let's go all. A lot of employees working for you. That's basically what this is. We are going to scroll down. Instagram story. Boom. 14-day story launch. So you're going to click this. Use. And here we are going to take the personality. Okay. So you're going to take your personality. Then the audience. Boom. Then product or service. Boom, easy. So it's got the DNAs. Day one, we're going to hit generate. It is crafting incredible copy because once again, it has all this context. All right, boom. There we go. Lovely. All right, so there we go. That is day one done. Now, if you want, you can go through all of these days, okay, and you can just go ahead and create all of them. And then just send them all over to the creator, or even easier, just every day, wake up, have your coffee, have your tea, create day two. All right, so this is a day in the life of the shadow operator. I wake up, I have a creator, everything is done and dusted. This is literally my work for the day. All right, I'm gonna come inside Ghostwriter. I'm gonna press day two. I'm gonna generate the entire launch sequence for the day, and there we go. There was my 30-second workday. I'm done. Voila. Today's work is done. I just have to send it to the creator. They have to post it once again. It's got everything in here already. It's got the story sequence, but not only that, as I said, it's got the hook variations. It's got the CTA variations. It's even got some visual suggestions. All right. So from the creator's perspective, they don't know that, like, when they see visual suggestions or some hook variations, like they think that's you typing that, or they think that's you making those suggestions to them. They don't know that that's the specialized AI tool that you're basically having to do 99.9% of the work for you. So yeah, there we go. All right. So let's say I've done that. Let's say I'm going into a new day. It's day 3. I have a very busy day ahead of me. Okay. I don't want to strain my finger too much. Quite a lot of work pressing generate. All right. Day 3, generating, creating the full copy for me. And it's doing its thing. Once again, you can see at the top exactly what's going on, understanding the context. All right, it's consulting some of its other agents. So once again, Ghostwriter is basically a collection of, it's basically like having like the best marketing team in the world working for you 24/7 with no complaints and no headaches. All right, so a lot of times it's even consulting other agents. It's basically consulting other employees, almost as if you've got all these people working in an office for you. And there we go, done and dusted. So every day you're gonna wake up. You're going to do the very busy, strenuous, tedious task of clicking on the day, pressing generate, saying it's a creator. And there we go. Welcome to a day in the life of a shadow operator. So with that being said, there is a over-the-shoulder walkthrough of what this process looks like. There we have it. There we have it. I apologize, guys. My finger, it really hurts. Like I had to press I had to click like 7 times. That was a lot. That took a toll. I don't know how I'm gonna recover. So there we go. The complete 14-day sequence. All right. All generated by Ghostwriter in about 20 minutes in total? 10, 20 minutes. It was tough. I don't know how I'm gonna recover from that. Now, the creator has everything they need to build the stories and launch. They just follow the sequence, they post stories each day, and they collect the money. That is the power of having the right system. That is the right AI, the right framework, the right tools. What would have taken days of manual work done in minutes with perfect execution. And here is what these stories look like when they are posted by the creator. This is how her followers would actually see this content, okay? It's literally just text on a story, black background, white text, maybe a question sticker, that's it. And that simplicity is actually what makes it work. So let me go ahead and show you a few, okay? Here's what day 1 story and day 2 story look like. Here's day 6, okay? 3, 4, 5. And here is day 10 story. So this is story 8, 9, and 10, okay? Talking about the offer bonuses, simple, clean, and easy to read. Now, if the creator wants to take it a step further, they can add a background image if they choose to. All right. Sometimes I even do that myself. And they can do that directly on Instagram. They just got to pick, whichever pictures they have on their camera roll. Or if this creator is very well spoken and prefers a video format, they can just record themselves reading the same script to the camera. But no need to do this, okay? That's only if that is the creator's preferred way of posting stories. In 90% of the cases, this is what the creator would post, okay? No production team needed, no design skills required. Just open Instagram, paste the text, post the story. That is the execution on their end. And that is why the system works so well. It is extremely easy for you to create these stories and even easier for the creator to post the stories. Does it now make sense why I say all of this is extremely simple? Okay, go ahead and drop a "I can do it" in the chat. All right, a simple sequence like this in the right creator's hands can generate thousands, tens of thousands, even sometimes hundreds of thousands of dollars. All right, let's take a step back for a second. Do you realize what you just watched over the last 40 minutes, 50-ish? Where are we at right now? Oh, almost an hour. Over the last, let's say of actual training, 50-ish minutes. We built a complete shadow operating blueprint, live from scratch. Everything you need to close and launch a creator partnership that could generate 10, 25, 50, even 100K or more. Now, let me go ahead and recap what we just did together. Step number one, find. Okay, we found our creator of choice, a random creator with 25,000 followers in the toddler development niche. Super random, but hey, profitable. We analyzed her profile, calculated her profit potential, and identified the opportunity. Step number two, approach. We created her complete monetization game plan using the game plan agent inside of Ghostwriter OS. We showed her, okay, how much she can make annually and how much of an opportunity she's sitting on with her audience. We developed her creator DNA, that is the personality, public, and as well as the product one. Then we developed it. Okay, we generated her product outline using Synthesize AI, the complete structure for her digital product delivered live, no pre-recording needed. We set up her WAP account, configured the price, activated the split revenue feature, everything ready to collect money. Step number four is monetize. We then generated all 14 days of story sequences using Ghostwriter OS. And there you go. That's a complete process. And we did that in what, about 50-ish minutes or so? Okay. Now, let me ask you something. Before this session, shadow operating maybe felt a little complicated, right? It sounded overwhelming, but you just watched me do all of that in 50 minutes with a real creator, real numbers, real content. And here's the thing. Most of that time was me explaining what I was doing, okay? If you were just executing this yourself with the AI tools, it could literally do this entire process in 30 minutes or so, okay? So here is what I need to know from you right now. After seeing this complete process live, after watching how simple this actually is when you have the right system, do you believe that you could simply follow the steps, click the buttons exactly as I did, and run your first shadow operating partnership? Type "I can do this" in the chat if you believe you could execute what you just saw. Of course. I can do this, I can do this. Well, there we have it. So here's the thing. The only thing you're missing right now to do this all yourself is the specialized AI tools. And at the end of the day, you are in this workshop in the first place because you want to leverage AI in 2026. So choosing to do this without AI is basically ignoring the biggest leverage you have to make money right now, which is the whole reason you showed up to this event in the first place. So here's the thing. If you do decide to take the smarter path and have this entire process done for you with AI, then you need to know something critical about timing. Today is January 18th. Tomorrow, January 19th at 11:59 p.m. Eastern time, monetize doors close. Not until next week. Not until, we reopen soon. When I say close, I mean for a really, really, really long time. Gone for months and months and months and months. I don't know when I'm going to reopen it. So if you're going to act on what you just saw, if you're going to take the intelligent route, you have less than 24 hours to make that decision. And if you join right now while the session is still live, you get a very, very, very special bonus on top of it. So let me quickly remind you what you're going to get inside Monetize. Monetize is not just a collection of tools. It's not just a program. It is a complete ecosystem designed to give new shadow operators the biggest unfair advantage possible. It's an entire business in a box. Everything you need to become a shadow operator, from finding creators to building profitable products to launching them with a 14-day story sequence and even collecting money. It all starts with Ghostwriter OS. You just watched this specialized AI tool generate our example creator's complete monetization game plan in 10 minutes, the entire DNA in 5 minutes, and all 14 days of her Instagram story sequence in 15 minutes. You never have to guess what to write. The AI executes the psychology perfectly every single time. The way I like to frame it is that with Ghostwriter OS, you don't need to trust yourself to do the work. You just trust the AI. After all, wouldn't it be awesome to be able to use the exact same strategy and the exact same software that I use to generate over $1.4 million for my own Instagram with just 10 sequences, especially if you don't need to learn all the psychology behind it. Well, that's what Ghostwriter OS does for you. Then you get Synthesize AI 4.0. Now, you just saw Synthesize AI 4.0 create the complete product outline for our example creator in under 10 minutes, module by module, lesson by lesson, structured and ready to deliver live. This historically has been the hardest part of this process, developing the product. I myself used to take months to create the outline for a single product. So how crazy is it that you can now literally do it in 10 minutes? But the main thing here is not even about the speed. It's about the accuracy. Because the worst thing ever is spending all this time to develop a product only to figure out your audience doesn't want it. Whereas with Synthesize, that virtually never happens. That's because Synthesize is trained on over $1 billion worth of digital product sales from WAP. So it already knows exactly which products sell and which ones don't. You don't have to figure it out through trial and error. Now, the very first product I created with it, back on the 1.0 version in March last year, that product that I created to basically validate, hey, when I make something with Synthesize, people buy it. That product alone generated over $370,000 in 30 days. Almost 15,000 people purchased it. It took me about 90 minutes of work to develop it using Synthesize and make me from one product more than most people would make in a year. And now you get access to the most recent version of it, Synthesize 4.0. Plus, I also preloaded it with $250,000 in AI credits. So that way you don't pay a single dollar in usage costs. How insane is it that you get access to a tool that turns what used to be the hardest part of this process into the easiest, and that you get to enjoy it without having to pay for usage? While the people who buy it standalone would have to pay $3,000 a year for Synthesize. Next, you get the Shadow Operating Playbook. This is your strategic foundation. The complete step-by-step system walks you through every decision from finding creators to collecting your first $25,000 to $50,000. Think of this as your map. With this map, you're never confused about, oh, what do I do next? The playbook tells you exactly where you are and what comes next. Now, wouldn't it be easier for you to succeed at shadow operating if you always knew where you are and what you have to do next? Well, that's exactly what happened with Haiti, who closed his first shadow operating partnership just 4 days after watching the shadow operating playbook. This is a gentleman was watching the stream, 4 or 5 days ago, 6 days ago? So he watched the stream and he's like, you know what? I don't want to know anymore. I am in, okay? I don't want to do this myself. I'd rather have this done for me, okay? I'd rather have all the tools. So he's like, all right, you know what? I'm in. Becomes a client to monetize. There we go. 4 days. So now that you have all the AI doing the work for you, the only remaining gap will be finding the creator. So what if instead of going through this entire process yourself manually to find the 100 creators yourself, what if you simply had a list with 100 creators, just like the one I showed you, loaded all into your own CRM? How much easier would that make the whole process for you? Well, that is exactly what you get when you join Monetize today. My team will manually source 100 hand-picked leads for you as soon as you join Monetize. And it all comes preloaded inside of your Flozy account. Flozy acts like your shadow operating command center. This is where you store your creators, your outreach tracking. It's what we call a CRM, a client relationship management system. Now, we've had 25,000 customers of Flozy, which alone will cost you over $1,000 a year. So don't you agree that having your own CRM preloaded with 100 creators makes the process of closing your first shadow operating partnership as easy as it could humanly be? Now, I know a lot of you would love to have some sort of credentials to show these creators. This way, you can have a third-party proof that you are qualified to do the job. And something like that can increase your authority by 10x in the eyes of these people. So I thought to myself, what could I give you to increase your authority to the highest level possible here? So I had an idea. You see, as you already know, I own a company called Consulting.com, which is the most successful consulting firm in the digital product and shadow operating space. So I've decided to create a consulting certificate that recognizes you as a Consulting.com qualified operator. This certificate gives you instant credibility when reaching out to creators. At that point, you're not just some random person anymore. You are certified by the #1 consulting firm in the world when it comes to digital products and shadow operating. Now, To put some fire under your ass and give you an even bigger reason to take action on becoming a shadow operator, I'm giving you a golden ticket to the 3rd edition of our Monetize Mania competition. Here is how it works. Starting tomorrow, we are kicking off a 90-day competition between everyone who joins Monetize. We are going to track the earnings made from your shadow operating partnerships over the next 90 days and rank everyone on a leaderboard that's updated real time. 90 days from now, the 5 individuals who finish to the top will get a complimentary seat at the Consultant.com Quantum Mastermind. That is our exclusive mastermind experience. The clients pay $25,000 to join, meaning you will get to sit and spend 3 days together behind closed doors in the same room as people making $100K, $200K, even $500,000 a month from their shadow operating business. You'll get to personally network with them and learn from their strategies. With this, you're rewarded for executing. How insane would that be for you to sit in a room as the top shadow operators in the world today? Now, here's where this gets really special. And I need you to pay close attention because this bonus I'm about to reveal is only available if you join Monetize before this live session ends. Not tomorrow, not at midnight tonight, okay? Before I click end live on the session, let me explain what I'm giving you. Here's the truth about shadow operating. The first yes isn't about if it's going to happen. It's about when it's going to happen. And how fast that when comes depends entirely on whether or not you have the right strategy. And that is why what I'm about to offer you is a huge unfair advantage that allows you to land that first yes much sooner than you ever expected and do exactly like Vaclav, who literally quit his job as an Uber Eats biker after applying our systems and started making $57,000 a month. Or Svestin, who after signing 4 new deals in the previous month, closed an $8,000 deal using the same system. Or we have Callum, who closed his very first deal in just 2 short weeks. Now, to be clear with you, that's not normal, okay? For most people, it takes a few weeks to get that first yes. But that's fine because once you get it, everything becomes 10 times easier. Everything these guys applied, I reveal and break down in excruciating detail inside of Agency Accelerator. It is the difference between spending 6 months trying to get your first yes and risk potentially giving up before ever getting there and getting it in a matter of a few weeks. Look, all of these success cases I just showed you were from someone inside of Agency Accelerator. All of these people got that result following what we teach in the program. And today, for everyone who joins Monetize before this session ends, and only before this session ends, you get the entire Agency Accelerator program absolutely free. The same Agency Accelerator program that over 20,000 people paid $9.95 to access. That is my $1,000 gift to you today. But here's what you need to understand. Agency Accelerator is not available for purchase anywhere. We don't sell it anymore. Not for $9.95. Not for $19.95, not for any price. The only way to get it is right here, right now, as a bonus for taking action during this live. You see, the only reason I'm making this available to you is because I'm seeing people actively use this strategy and being very successful with it right now. And I know that potentially the only thing stopping you from giving a shot at shadow operating is the fact that maybe you aren't sure if you could close a partnership. And I completely get that. That's why the combination of our system inside Monetize and the outreach strategies taught inside Agency Accelerator will give you a competitive advantage that no one else in this industry has. However, Agency Accelerator is a very valuable program that I've taken out of the market to keep it restricted only for my legacy clients who took action on it. Out of respect for them, I don't want to make this available publicly for too long. It's very valuable and they deserve insider access to it because they were the first ones to join. So I'm making a quick exception for you here today. And that is why if you try joining Monetize, even 5 seconds after I end the stream, you won't get it. So now that you understand this part, let me show you exactly what you're going to get inside Agency Accelerator. First, you get the complete step-by-step outreach system. This isn't just scripts, it's a complete outreach system. It shows you where to find the right prospects, then how to craft your message for maximum response. That includes my exact message scripts that have been tested thousands of times, as well as the right way to approach them without seeming desperate or salesy, critical mistakes to avoid that kill your chances instantly, and how to execute follow-up that gets responses without being annoying. Every single detail is mapped out so that way you're never guessing. Now, after implementing the system, you'll be able to apply the same strategies that convince CEOs to pay $2,000 to students like Rohan, or a fitness influencer with 130,000 followers to pay $5,800 upfront and 10% of revenue to Yakub. As he says himself, with the system, you are only 5 to 10 no's away from the next big payday. Or what about $11,600 in a single deal that Elias was able to get using our outreach methods? Or even more impressive, weeks later, getting a $20,000 deal. Every single strategy they use to get all these results, you can use to get creators to partner with you. Second, You get the closing framework that turns maybes into yeses. We show in excruciating detail the process of landing a deal. From first contact to the final yes, every single detail is covered, so that way you're never left guessing what to do. And most importantly, you get all of that included with my onboarding system. So that way you know exactly what to do after you close a deal, which is the part that most people overlook and get stuck at. Third, you get the partnership structure templates. We break down exactly how to structure these partnerships with examples of how I structure my deals with my own clients. Everything is structured so that way the creator keeps promoting, because that way they keep earning. No confusion, just clean partnerships. These three components work together to create a complete system. So here's what you're getting. Agency Accelerator, which teaches you how to close 4- and 5-figure partnerships. My proven message scripts for closing 5-figure partnerships. My exact partnership structures to guarantee that your partnerships are structured smoothly for both you and the creator. As I already said, Agency Accelerator alone will cost you $995. And you can't even get it for this price anymore because I have taken it off market. But because you showed up live, okay, because you've been here for 5 days, because you are serious about executing, I'm including it for free, as long as you join Monetize before this live ends. The second I click end live, this bonus disappears, gone forever. That is exclusive for people who are here live today. Now, let's talk about what all this is worth. Ghostwriter OS, okay? Just in the last 6 months, I have paid the company over $530,000 in licensing fees. Okay, here's the bank wires proving all of this. So I'm paying almost $100,000 a month out of my own pocket to make this available to you for free inside Monetize. Synthesize AI 4.0 is listed at $2,999 per year standalone. Plus, I've preloaded it with $250,000 in AI credits for you to use. A yearly plan of Flozy costs more than $1,000 a year. The Shadow Operating Playbook, well, I've historically sold similar programs to this for $14.95, just the program standalone. Plus 100 pre-vetted creators, which takes weeks of manual work from my team. The Monetize Mania tickets, that's $25,000 a pop. So 5 of those, $125,000. Agency Accelerator, well, over 20,000 people paid $995 to get access to this. So just on how much it cost me to put this all together is almost $1 million. Now today, you're not paying anywhere near how much this has cost me. Now, I'm sure we can both agree that I could easily charge you $10,000 for this, and it would still be worth it. At $5,000, it's an incredible deal, which is why it is an absolute no-brainer for you to sign up right now at a special price of $1,995. And yes, financing is available if you need it. In fact, it's the most flexible financing you will find anywhere. The only question is, are you ready to take advantage of this opportunity and become an AI shadow operator? So here's what happens next. In just a moment, I'm going to drop the link for you to join in the comments. Okay, you just spent 5 days here with me. You saw today, right before your own eyes, a multiple 5-figure opportunity being mapped out in front of you. You watched Ghostwriter generate the complete game plan in 10 minutes. You saw Synthesize create the product outline in 3 minutes. You watched the entire 14-day launch sequence get built automatically with the perfect psychological triggers. You saw how simple and straightforward our 4-step shadow operating method is. And now you know that you're capable of applying it yourself. So it comes time to make a decision. You invested 5 days of your time learning this system, hours of your life that you will never get back. So are you just going to let all this effort you've put into this go to waste? Or are you going to actually take action on this and make 2026 the greatest year of your life? Well, here's what I've learned after watching thousands of people go through this. The worst thing you can do when you see an opportunity like this in front of you is do nothing. Most people think that by not taking action, they're avoiding a difficult situation, but it's the exact opposite. Doing nothing is a decision. And worse, you're not avoiding risk. You're just choosing a different outcome. You're choosing to stay exactly where you are right now, still looking for ways to make money online, still watching other people succeed, still wondering when it's going to be your turn. That is the real cost of inaction, not the money, not the time, not the effort. It's knowing that you had the complete system right in front of you, the tools, the creators, the guarantee that we work with you until you win, and you let the moment pass. Look, 6 months from now, you might see someone else's success story as a shadow operator. You know what's going to happen? You'll remember you were here. You'll remember you had the opportunity. And you'll probably think, man, I should have done it. So look, here's where we're at. Tomorrow at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time, Monetize closes. Ghostwriter OS, Synthesize AI, the 100 pre-vetted creators, the Shadow Operator Playbook, all of it will be gone. But here's what I think is really at stake here. It's about proving to yourself that you are the kind of person who takes action. That you're not someone who sits on the fence forever. That you are the person who makes decisions and figures it out. That is what this decision represents. It's about your belief in yourself. So if you're ready to prove to yourself that you are an action taker, someone who does what needs to be done when opportunity arises, then click the link that I'm dropping in the live chat in 3, 2, 1. Now, in case you can't click it, just go to joineman.com and it will take you to the same page. You'll be redirected to a secure checkout page, complete the checkout, and you will get instant access. Remember, the doors close tomorrow at 11:59 p.m. Eastern time, so don't let tomorrow come and wish you had acted today. And I get it. Maybe you're still a little reluctant. Not in the system, but in your own ability to figure this out. What if I invest $1,995 and it doesn't work? What if I'm not good enough to close a creator? What if I fail? Well, that's why I built one of the strongest guarantees in this industry to make sure that you are never left alone, no matter how long it takes for you to achieve success. We are going to work with you until you 10x your investment. And here's how it works. You don't just get access to the tools in the system. You get me and my team committed to working with you until you close your first creator partnership and make at least a 10x return on your investment. Not until you feel ready, not until you understand everything, until you actually close a creator and have a partnership that pays you and pays you well. If it takes 3 months, we're there. If it takes 6 months, we're there. If it takes a year, we are still there throughout this entire time. We will give you updates, new training, new strategies, new support, exactly like we've done to our current users 3 times last year. As I always say, what you need is the ability to create money on demand, the skill of turning a creator's audience into dollars in your bank account. Because once you have that skill, once you've closed that first 25 to 50K partnership, all of your problems disappear. You're not worried about money anymore. You're not stuck in that 9 to 5 grind anymore. If you don't want to, you get to make decisions from a place of abundance, not necessity. And that is worth infinitely more than $1,995. That is why the guarantee isn't, oh, get your money back if it doesn't work. The guarantee is we will work with you until it does work. Because with this business model, you only need to get it right once. One creator partnership changes everything. And we are committed to making sure that you get that one. Now, on top of that, your investment is also protected with a 7-day full refund policy. If you join Monetize, look inside and you get everything, and for any reason you decide this isn't for me, you have 7 days to email support@monetize.com and ask for a refund. 100% of your money back, no questions asked. With this, there's literally no scenario where you lose. The only way to lose is by not trying at all. So click the link in the live chat or in the description of this video. Here is exactly what happens after you click the link. You're going to be redirected to WAP, the platform that I co-own and where we process everything. And I need to be clear about something here. I don't just recommend WAP to my clients, okay? I'm the primary user of the platform because it's the best infrastructure for digital products, period. So when you land on that checkout page, you're going to fill in your details, your name, email, payment information. You can choose to pay in full or use financing if you need it. You're going to hit confirm. The transaction processes instantly. You will get redirected to a confirmation page with a video walking you through the instructions on how to get access everything inside Monetize. It is crucial that you don't skip that video and watch it in its entirety. Once you log in, everything is waiting for you. Ghostwriter OS, ready to generate game plans, DNAs, and Instagram story sequences. Synthesize AI 4.0, ready to create product outlines with $250,000 I've already preloaded in credits. The Shadow Operating Playbook, your map with the complete step-by-step system. As soon as you join, my team will start working full steam ahead to pre-vet your 100 creator leads for you and load them inside your Flowsy account within 72 hours. You're going to get your Monetize Mania Golden Ticket, which is your chance to win a seat at the same room as shadow operators pulling in multiple 6 figures a month. All of it right there, instant access. And here's what makes this even easier. The interface is incredibly intuitive. Everything is organized. Everything is clear. You don't need to be tech savvy to figure out. It is designed for people who want to execute, not people who want to spend hours learning how to navigate software. Plus, our support team is active inside the community 24/7. If you have any questions, technical, strategic, whatever, just ask. Someone will respond within hours, sometimes even minutes. You are not alone in this. The moment you join, you have an entire community and team backing you up. So the process is simple. Click the link, complete checkout, get instant access, log in, begin exploring, start executing, and that's it. No complicated onboarding, no waiting for access, no confusion. Everything you need to close your first creator partnership is ready the second you join. Even if you have any problems, or I should say, if you have any problems while checking out, please keep an eye out on your WhatsApp. My team will personally reach out to you there and will help you with any issues you might have. Now, let me be very clear about something, okay? Look, let's bring this back to why I'm doing this in the first place. I'm a co-owner of WAP, okay? When you launch a creator's product, where does it sell? WAP. When you make 50K from a partnership, where does it process? WAP. My incentive is very simple. The more people that make money on WAP, the more money I make. That's it. Our incentives are perfectly aligned. WAP has processed more than $1 billion in payouts in just the last 6 months. And you could take a piece of this $1 billion pie for yourself. Thousands of people have already joined Monetize, and the doors are closing tomorrow, regardless of whether you join or not. The opportunity exists for one more day. After that, it is gone. And I can't decide for you whether you want to stay where you are right now or you want to move forward. I can't decide for you whether you're the type of person who acts or the type of person who waits. I can't decide for you whether you are willing to prove to yourself that this works. That is on you. All I can do is give you the complete system. Remove all the risk and open the door. Whether you walk through it or not, that's your call. The link is in the chat. The doors close tomorrow at 11:59 p.m. Eastern. Make your decision. And look, whatever you decide, I respect it. And I want you to know that I'm rooting for you either way. But if you are serious about making this happen in 2026, this is your moment. So with all that being said, I'm going to be bringing Jason Fladlien now to help me answer all of your questions and give his perspective based on literally decades of experience working as a shadow operator. All right. Welcome, Mr. Jason Fladlien.